By the physio, some magic within his hands, and now he's ready to take off again. And meanwhile, we have another magician, the Pakistan Red Ball head coach, Mr. Jason Gillespie, with us. Welcome to the Comms Box.
Oh, thank you very much, Salman, for the lovely welcome. It's great to be here.
Great to have you here, Jason. And firstly, how's it going in Pakistan?
I'm absolutely loving it. It's been just a wonderful experience so far. I've been welcomed with open arms. It's been brilliant.
Well, there's an appeal, but the umpire is unmoved, probably going down the leg side. And Jason, 3 months in the job, how have you found the Pakistan team and the talent that you have seen currently?
Yeah, look, the team's been great. I was fortunate enough to be in Darwin with the Pakistan Shaheens, which was a great experience to get to know some of the guys playing underneath the test side. Obviously, the test series didn't go the way we would have liked against Bangladesh, but to start getting to know the players, the support staff, and everyone within Pakistan cricket has been fantastic, Salman. So one thing that's been great, been welcomed with open arms and been made to feel a part of it, which has been absolutely brilliant.
That is great to hear. And coming back to the Test cricket, the recent series that we had against Bangladesh and the current form of the squad and the fitness-related things regarding the fast bowlers, you yourself being a fantastic fast bowler, where do you think the boys stand at the moment?
Yeah, it's a good question, and sort of learnt some lessons, identified some areas that we maybe need to work on a little bit. Fitness has been well documented in the press. We can, that's certainly something as far as I'm concerned, and knowing, having spoken to Gary Kirsten, it's a controllable. It's something that we can control. We can continue to develop and work on that, because as we know, as you well know, Test cricket is a challenge.
So it's another over, bowled 11 gone, and we shall come back with Jason and more information. 51 for no loss.
That's all right.
So the Stallions' hunt for 264 continues. A good opening partnership. The frequency has not been great, but important game, and the openers have put their hands up. As Khoshdil Shah will operate from the pavilion end. Oh, was that a catch? Doesn't seem as if. So Jason, coming back to the current squad, and especially we'd like to ask about Shaheen, whether he's in his full shape, full fitness, and raring to go, along with Amir Jamal, who's also coming back from injury. And your options, because you would love to have 5 or 6 at least ready to go.
Yeah, most certainly. We've picked a squad which is not too dissimilar to what we had against Bangladesh. And I'm really keen to show our faith and belief in our players. I think that's really important. We don't want to have knee-jerk reactions after every bad game or a result that hasn't gone our way. We want to show the faith and belief in these players, because they're very good players, and we showed glimpses, and there were periods of the games in both the first and second test against Bangladesh in Pindi where we played some really good cricket and we were driving the game. We just need to do it a little bit more consistently.
Yes, there were glimpses of good cricket from all of these boys, but then the current form, how do you address that? Is it a pep talk? Because the time is very short and the format we are playing at the moment is different. So how do you really address that with those players who you need to fire?
I think in part we've addressed it with the selection and showing that we believe in you. We believe in you guys. We know you're good players. You don't lose your skills overnight, Salman. So, you know, one or two bad games doesn't mean you all of a sudden turn into a bad player. So I want to reiterate that and show our players that the selectors, the coaching staff have faith in them.
A boundary, and the over is finished. 12 gone. It's 56 for no loss. So, and the Pakistan squad is on your screens, and it's pretty much the same. The Samir Jamal comes back in the team along with Noman Ali, the left-arm spinner, and Muhammad Ali misses out. A question regarding the in-form Kamran Ghulam is somebody who's been scoring runs for a couple of years now, very consistent, and 200s in this Champions Cup. What do you think of him?
Yeah, Cameron, I met Cameron in the Pakistan Shaheens in Darwin, and he performed quite well there. I suppose, you know, and he's certainly in our thinking. His name has been talked about a lot. But as I said just before, we want to show the faith and the belief in the players that we've got there. And Cameron, has been communicated that he has been spoken about. His form has been acknowledged. So he's had, in particular, his recent form has been excellent. There's guys in the test squad that, if you look over a period of time, they've been excellent, and we want to reward that. Also want to show some patience and support to the current guys that are in the squad. Yes, we want the results to be better, but I firmly believe if we show that faith and belief in our players, show that we care and we're really keen to see them do well, it gives them the best chance to go out and play with that freedom that we want them to play.
So keeping faith in the playing 11 and the squads is very, very important, as this one just bounces over the head of the fielder and goes for another boundary, takes Stallions to 62. So coming back to our point that if somebody is scoring like he has been, and exceptional run getter, so the exceptional form, does it matter when you select a team where you can have somebody who's scoring hundreds consistently and you need somebody in the middle order who can bat for longer periods? Because in the recent test matches, we have struggled to bat for longer periods at times.
Yeah, look, I think the messaging to players that are not in the team or in the squad who are performing well, whether it be bat or ball, they can see if we show selection faith in the guys that are there, and yes, obviously over time, if there's an extended period where the performances aren't quite there, then we may have to look at things. But look, I've been in the role for a very short time, and I want to show faith in these players.
So it's end of 13 and it's 64 for no loss. So back in action, it's the 14th over as Khushdil continues, and another important aspect of our recent cricket has been the workload management of the boys, especially who play across formats. Person like Naseem Shah, Shaheen and others who play all three formats. How do you manage them, especially the fast bowlers?
Yeah, it's a great point you make, Salman, and it's something that Gary Kirsten and I have spoken at length about. I've spoken with the selectors, fellow coaches, particularly our all-format players, not just our bowlers, but all our players. We want to...
Well, there is the first wicket. That is the breakthrough they were looking for, and Mars, after scoring 27, and another batter who got set, and now he has to leave, tries to cut the ball and only edges it into the keeper's gloves. So first blood for Nurpur Lions, and Stallions suffer first blow at 64. No problems with the front foot there, and Khushdil Shah is the man who got this breakthrough. So Mars got 27 of 43, and now he is having to depart. He hit 5 fours, and at the moment he has to leave. So back we are with the action, and it's the new batter is Adil Amin, and he is promoted to bat 1 down, and very important point was being made. While you can see Adil Amin's stat, he averages 47 in his List A career, very experienced, and he will have to put up a partnership because they're in the chase, and it's an important one. So Jason, coming back to your workload thing, please continue.
Yeah, most certainly. And you know, talking about all our players, multi-format players, we want to make sure that they're as available for as many games for Pakistan as possible. So if it comes, and let's talk about fast bowlers. I think that's what a lot of us want to know about. There'll be times, and I showed in the second Test match against Bangladesh where we did. You know, everyone talks about. You know, I want to remove these thoughts of being dropped.
14 overs gone at 64-1, and we come back to our conversation. So it's going to be Fazil Akram, the left arm wrist spin, and he's really been bowling well in this tournament, picking up wickets and also with a decent economy. He's very young. Coming back to the conversation, third time, hopefully we get through this time.
We can get through, yeah. Fazil Akram coming on to bowl, obviously a young player I met in the Shaheens in Darwin. He's a talent, that's for sure.
Well, slightly short, and advantage taken. Yasser is set, he's on 35, and this 4 takes him 239. And Yasser will make sure anything loose goes to the boundary. He's that kind of a player, aggressive one. Faisal needs to settle in quickly.
Yeah, commentators cursed that, wasn't it? We just gave him a wrap, and then then he gets it for a 4. But look, just on that point, the bowlers' workloads. We certainly want to make sure that we're looking after our all-format players, in particular bowlers. Everyone wants to know about the fast bowlers. You know, in the Bangladesh series, obviously we looked after a couple of guys for the second test. I'm trying to remove these words of...
oh, well, a wicket straight away, and that to a set batter. Yasser has to leave now. The ball spins sharply, I reckon, and it hit its pad right in front. And now it's 2 down. Some panic for the Lightbank Stallions. Wickets falling in clusters has been the story in this competition, and today has been no different. Just have a look. Spins in sharply. It is as if he didn't pick it. Playing down the wrong line. And rightly so, the appeal was a desperate one. And in the end, he gets the verdict. So Yasser departs, scoring 39 of 42. One more batter, settling in and then losing it all. It's 2 for 68. Game on now as Hussain Talat, the in-form Hussain Talat, an experienced batter, walks in. And he is somebody who plays against spinner with more assurance and definitely has been among the runs in this tournament, scoring 350s, 141 is highest, 800s. And does he need to score one to take his team across the line? Shall we get through this first ball, Jason?
I reckon let's get through the first ball first. So we'll see how we go after that.
Yes, adding to the light in the ground. Straight away, I think it was the wrong one. And Faisal, his confidence is high. Taking the wicket in the first over. Just have a look. Good line. Spins sharply. And Yasser plays the wrong line. Perhaps he doesn't know where the ball is going to go. Umpire took his time. And now there's concerns with the ball, I reckon, and or something in the pitch.
Should I try and get my point across now?
Please do that. Please do that.
All right, so it's just difficult with when the spinners are on. But look, I think I want to try and move away from this. We want to have, rather than relying on 11 players, we want to have a squad mentality. And we can, you know, bring bowlers in and out as we see fit, you know, take into account workloads, take into account conditions. I think I learned a pretty good lesson as a coach in the first test match when obviously Shaheen Afridi, his wife was expecting, you know, due to give birth during the first test match. And my initial thoughts was him to not play that test match and to spend time with his family, which family first is, you know, cornerstone of my beliefs.
Yes.
However, Shaheen, and to his credit, he wants to play all the time. He's wonderful. He plays so much cricket. He was so keen to play, and so in the end we decided, yes, he can play, no dramas. And then obviously they welcomed their son during the test match. And in hindsight, I looked at it and I just thought, you know what, I should have made that call and just allow him to have that important family time. So that was a lesson that I learned as a coach, and so that was in part in my thinking as well for that second test. Let him get away and have some family time.
It's 15 gone and 68 for 2. Yes, Khushdil to continue, and 2 new batters, both yet to get off the mark. And there's an appeal and another one goes. They are falling like a pack of cards now. Adil Amin, the right-hander, has to go. One again spins sharply, and along with Faisal, now it's Khushdil picking up a wicket, and now Noorpur Lions are right back in this game. No problems with the front foot whatsoever. Angling the ball in and goes slightly away. Good take from Ruhail Nazir, the keeper. So 68 for 3 as Adil Amin has to walk back. and without disturbing the scorers. It's rings. So it's Tayyab Tahir, the man in form, coming off 100, is the new batter, and team in trouble. He is 31 years old, 70 games in his List A career, healthy average of 46, 600s, and the highest of 169, and a tall mountain to climb. 264 to get, and the action begins. Confident start straight away. So Jason, have you finished with this workload thing, talking about the fast bowlers?
Yeah, look, we want to create a squad mentality. So that's the because there is a lot of cricket, and you think coming up. I mean, obviously we've had. This is why part of the reason I want to explain why some of the Test squad are not playing the rest of this tournament. As originally this tournament was scheduled to finish on I think the 22nd, 23rd of September, and there was a week where the players could get away and rest and recover, and then come back fresh, ready to prepare for the Test series. Because then once the Test series is done, then once the third Test is done, then the one-day team play a one-day game in Melbourne 5 days later. So, and then they are on the road until come back to Pakistan at the end of January. So there's a lot of cricket in all formats that we need to just be really aware of and make sure we're managing our players as best we can. So that was the thinking behind this little break now. It's probably the last one that particularly our all format players will have until the end of the season and the end of PSL, basically. So we've just got to be careful.
Yes, indeed, it's a long road. And Khushdil to bowl the last delivery. And it's a dot ball, 16 gone, and 71 for 3. Into his second, he's already picked up a wicket, and he has two informed batters, both scoring runs consistently. And for Stallion's sake, no more commentator's curse. As we move into our conversation, now that the Test Championship qualification zone, I think it's gone for Pakistan. Do you think about testing the bench strength, probably playing a few youngsters in those test matches, and probably as part of the workload management, give a few a run in the test matches and see how they go?
Oh, look, we'll see. We look to win every test match that we go and play. And you know, as I mentioned earlier, we want to show our faith and backing to the incumbents. As I said, though, if there are prolonged performances that need to be improved, then we look at things. But I've got a lot of faith in these players. We've got a lot of talent. I think this tournament has shown just exactly how much talent there is in Pakistan cricket. And yes, this is white ball cricket, but there is a lot of talent. So I'm very excited by what the future holds. We will certainly look at exploring opportunities to be brave in selection and look at opportunities and looking to expose some youngsters to the test team environment. So that may come into it. We may have some opportunities later in the year. So we'll certainly look at those.
So you were in Darwin with the Pakistan A side, and you probably had a look in this tournament as well. So any names that you've already put in your diary or book which you look to as the future prospects? I mean, if you want to reveal them, it's up to you, but surely there would be, you'll be marking players.
I don't want to leave anyone out, Salman, but look, there's a lot of, we certainly want to look to increase our depth in all facets of the game, whether it be our batting, our fast bowling, our spin bowling. I think our wicket keeping, that's certainly something we'll need to look at in the future as well.
So 17 bowled, and it's 75 for 3. So back are we, and at this stage, Nurpur Lions was 78 for 3, and it's pretty much similar, 75 for 3 for the Allied Bank Stallions. So Jason, what about those key positions? Let's say talk about wicket keepers. What are your thoughts, and what backup do you think is there?
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, Riz is doing a fine job in the test side, and obviously he's in the white ball formats as well. Sarfaraz has been obviously been a wonderful servant, captained the country very well. But we know Safi's not getting any younger, and at some point we're going to need to start exploring and offering opportunities to some other players. That's just and same with with spin bowling. We've got there's a lot of young spinners that are on show in this tournament and in first class cricket. So we'll certainly look at that because we want to create depth. We don't want to have to rely on one or two players in any discipline. We want to be able to create depth, create squads so that we can call on any players at any time. And I think the domestic structure will allow for that. The Shaheens is a really, really important vehicle to provide opportunities for players that, one, have performed well in domestic cricket, but two, players that may not have played a lot of domestic cricket but have shown signs, have shown the selectors, have shown coaches glimpses of their talent, and we can expose them, give them stretch opportunities to test them in that Shaheens environment in foreign conditions and the like, and local conditions. So, there's lots of opportunities available.
Yeah. So Kushtil to bowl the last ball in the over, and that's a dot. 18 gone at 78 for 3, and we'll come back for a couple of more questions with the Pakistan Red Bull head coach. Faisal to continue. Meanwhile, our conversation moves on, and Jason, you have been here for 3 months now, and you know that the road for the future is not absolutely smooth. There are things that need to be done. So what sort of backing do you look or expect from the fans? How should they respond to this time when the team needs their backing, like you are backing the team to, you know, go on and giving them that trust that we are backing you?
I think, look, we just had a well documented connection camp, and you know, Gary, myself, and the players, all, you know, a number of players sat together and we discussed all sorts of things. The players were really keen to, you know, be as professional as they possibly can be. But the key theme that came out was they want the Pakistan public, their supporters, to be proud of them. They want to be an inspiration for the Pakistan people. And I was really proud of the players for how they, you know, articulated how they feel about what representing Pakistan means to them. And, you know, I think everyone has a role to play. The supporters, I think media, I think former players that quoted, because the lads, all the players, if they hear former players in the press, you know, these are guys they looked up to, grew up idolising and wanting to emulate. And, you know, if they hear some positive messages from their heroes, they stand a foot taller, and they love that. And if they see some positive messages from the fans and from the media, they stand a foot taller, and because they want to make people proud. You know, the boys, they've spoken a lot about that. And as I said, Gary and I were incredibly energised and excited about what we heard from the playing group. And while the results haven't been what we'd like them to be, I'm really confident, Gary's really confident, that we can turn it around if we just show these players that we care and we support them, we believe in them, and you never know what could happen.
It's the last ball. Is driven down the ground, and Tayyab is running the first one quickly, and he will turn for the second. And this is good positive running to end the over. And it's 19 gone, and it's 82 for 3. So into the 20th, and pretty even the game at the moment. Or maybe a touch in the hands of Nurpur Lions, who as this one turns sharply. I don't know what was the peel about. So Jason, coming back to the Pakistan team, what about the leadership? How about the captain, your views regarding him and his form, and how important it is for the team?
Yeah, Shah Masood was awarded the captaincy last year, and has navigated some pretty choppy waters. You know, it's been a tough initiation for him as leader. What's really inspired me and delighted me about Shan and his leadership and captaincy, he's got a very clear vision on how he wants the Pakistan team to play, and he's fully committed to that. Him and I are very well aligned. We're very much aligned in what we think.
Meanwhile, this is a boundary for Tayyab, the fielder not being able to stop this one. And we can continue, Jason.
So yeah, Shan and I are very much aligned in how we want the Pakistan team to present and to play. And while look, the results haven't been quite what we'd like. In obviously the last 2 test matches since I've been involved, and a few test matches before that, the philosophy, the thinking is very clear, and the results will come.
Hopefully the results will come pretty soon and things be okay with Sean and his form. And lastly, the young aspirant cricketers, especially the fast bowlers, what format of the game do you recommend to them in their teen years or earlier on? And how important it is for skill development to play the longer format of the game?
Yeah, the longer format of the game is very important for skill development, I think, for all players, not just fast bowlers or not just bowlers. I think you learn to groove techniques, groove actions, learn how to play on different conditions on wearing surfaces. So I'm a big believer in the long format of the game. Look, there's always going to be the attraction of the shorter formats. But the thing I'd say to young players is that the shorter formats are always going to be there. The longer format will help you learn and develop the game in all conditions against different opposition. So for me, being able to develop your skills in that environment is absolutely crucial. That's where you learn about the game.
Well, that's a great point. A lot of learning and game awareness comes through the longer format, and it's the same rule for all cricketers, whether bowlers or batters or any special skill that you have. Meanwhile, a skillful batter has driven a handsome cover drive for another boundary. It's 90 at the moment, 94. 19.4 overs bowled, and things looking good with these 2 batters, and hopefully for Stallions they carry on. Meanwhile, we will be thanking the Pakistan Red Ball head coach, Mr. Jason Gillespie, for giving us time and giving us very useful insight on the team. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak, Salman. It's an exciting time. Yes, I know everyone wants to see results, and no one more than me, I can assure you.
Must be the nature of the job.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, I've got faith that I've got belief in our players and belief in Pakistan cricket. We'll be fine. We've just got to trust and believe in these players.
Our best wishes are with you and the current Pakistan team. All the best, Jason. Thank you very much. And 20 overs complete. It's 95 for 3.
Miscue a couple of runs. They have come back into this game, the Nurpur Lions, with the 3 wickets. And just hangs in a very nice balance. 167 and now required, and it's setting up to be a very good chase. Remember, successful chase, barring that last game, it will be the highest in this tournament if the Light Bank Stallions are to chase this down. Ustad ji, where's that come from, Sikandar?
Oh, yes. If not, this is surely going upstairs because he's off balance. All the body weight in front. Did he lift that back foot at any stage?
Yeah, brilliant delivery. Excellent line, excellent length. Just a little bit of air drags Hussain Talat outside the crease. It'll be about whether he's managed to slide his foot back in and back across the line or not. Let's have a look. Legal delivery, follow the processes. That looks absolutely all right. Yeah, I think he's all right. I think he's just managed to land his toe in time before Rohil Nazir has flicked the bails off. I think he's going to be okay.
Alim Dar is going to put out his verdict. That is that, not out. Yeah, it's years of hard work and determination from where I've got this title. 97 for 3 at the moment. It's a little surprised with this batting order. Not that it's the first time. Allied Bank Stallions have been playing around with that batting order. Today they are without Shan and Babar. But really don't know why would they tickle around with that.
Yeah, interesting because Tayyab Tahir has come in at 5. Hossain Talat came before him. Maybe just a matter of left-right combination just to break things up a little bit. We'll come back to that after this over. 21 done. It's 100 for 3.
Just look at the batting order here. Adil, I mean, usually doesn't play 3. Mohsin plays 5. Haris has been moving around. He's opened once, but yeah, I'm being told that Hossain and Tayyab have always played this number. I think Tayyab has always been ahead of Hossain. But whatever suits them, as long as they chase this down. 164 is what they need. And 29 overs is plenty of time. 100 is up on the board. It's a do-or-die game. You've got to be eliminated if you don't make it to that 164.
Yeah, they started quite nicely. 63 for no loss and they went to 68 for 3. Partnership now 32 of 35. In the chase, what you need is partnerships. We saw that in the first innings as well. 2 big partnerships, and that's what Hossain Talat and Tayyab Tahir will be hoping for. They still have the skipper to come in. And if they are to get close, Sikandar, they will require a big partnership here in the middle.
Uruj, we were just listening to JG, the head coach of the red ball format. I always believe, I'm not going to talk about what he said. My liking is that in recent times we've had good open table talks with that connection camp also, and this where the head coach comes and talks to the people really. And you get to know what the plans are, at least what they're trying to do. Whether you achieve it or not is an entirely different thing. So it just tells you, and also planning ahead. So you're going to talk about up to May 2025. That's how packed your season is. So you just get to know the plans, and then accordingly, the people who love the game will be remembering his words and then seeing how much of that is being implemented. And we talked about this yesterday, that you talk about 100 things, and even out of those 100, you manage 10, that's still a victory.